We are live. So what is this intro you're talking about?
Okay. I got this.
Yeah.
No, I'm excited that we're finally starting.
Oh shit, he's got it.
I'm excited that we're finally started. First, cheers.
Cheers. Yeah. I should do the whole thing where you drop the glass down on the table. Even when I do shots, I always feel weird that I don't do that, but I also don't know why everyone does it.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
I never question. I think it's one of those unspoken things where you do it or you don't.
Yeah. But
nobody asked why.
Yeah, but I ask why in my head every time. Why the fuck are we doing this shit? And I've always thought that whenever we're taking shots or having a drink and we cheers and someone fucking drops a drink down, I was like, why the fuck you do that? Because my handshake. So I'm always, especially if someone overfills my fucking shot, I'm like, I'm over here just spilling this shit. And I'm like, do you not understand? If I could just take the shot and just go and take it to the head, I would lose so much less. But this whole thing of like dropping it down and bringing it back up, like, I don't mean this in a negative way, but like, I feel like Michael J. Fox or Muhammad Ali. Oh, like, I don't have Parkinson's. So, like, and I definitely don't mean to make light of what, one went through and one still is going through. But my hands shake, especially my right hand. So, like, the thing that bugs me the most about my hand shaking is when someone orders 2 martinis for me, because then it means that I have to take 2 martini glasses and drop it. And I kid you not, I will sit here and have the martini glass and I'm sitting there holding it with fingers, like I'm milking an imaginary cow. And I'm like, all right, so let me go ahead and take this fucking coupe martini glass or whatever and drop it. When I drop it with my left, so much smoother. But when I drop it with my right, especially if the person is more to my right than they are to my left, and I go to drop it, what ends up happening, and this happened to me the other night actually, this guy, he ordered 2 martinis. He ordered a gin martini dirty and a vodka martini extra dry with a twist. All right, so I got 2 coupes and I'm over here and he's like, man, those look good. And I'm like, well, do I hand them to him at the same time or do 1 and 1? So then I did 1 and 1, and my dumb ass had one in my right hand, and I go to take it to him, and like no bullshit, as soon as I get ready to land the plane, my hand starts going like that. It was like, you wanted that shaken, not stirred, right? And that's how I feel when I'm dropping off this fucking martini. So yeah, I hate doing the toast.
My question is, the guy that ordered it with the twist, was it M. Night Shyamalan?
No, because it was a good twist. I see what you did there. There's a twist.
Okay, so welcome everybody.
Yeah,
to the first episode of the podcast where we pull back the curtain, give you some insight on what goes on behind the scenes of your favorite bar and restaurant, and we like to call it the industry perspective.
Oh shit! He put his podcast voice on.
Yeah, you like that?
Oh, that motherfucker got official. He was like, oh, welcome everyone.
How do you feel about that intro?
Yeah, I felt really good about it. It just felt like we should record this at Library Bar. Hey, shout out to Library Bar, even though I haven't been there. I know most of the people there. But it felt like you were like doing a presentation at a library or a school classroom, but we're drunk. Or I am.
Well, I didn't get a chance
I'm not drunk, but we're drinking.
We are. I didn't get a chance to rehearse it, so I had to put on my voice. And then once I remember it, then it'll come naturally.
In a galaxy far, far away. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
It's like the intro to the Star Wars thing. You're like, hey, welcome to the industry perspective. So what do we want to do with this podcast? Because I think a lot of people are going to be wondering that, especially with the first episode. Like, if you couldn't hear me, it's because I was leaning back. Anyway, what is it that we want to say? Do you want to lead off or you want me to lead off? Because
I'll start off.
Okay. All right.
So I think with both of us bartending, a lot of people ask, what's your favorite drink? So What's your favorite drink?
That changes. It
Okay,
changes
here
every couple
I'll
weeks,
get. Okay, what's your favorite drink you like to order at a bar, and what's your favorite drink you like to make at home if they're not the same?
But see, that's the thing. I get this question almost every damn day, so that's a great start. But my answer is still the same. It changes. It changes all the time. So, I might like this particular cocktail or this particular beer or this particular, spirit at that particular moment. And that's my favorite right now. I like to think of cocktails the way I do relationships. I don't stick with any one of them for that long. It's sad, but that's how it is. That's how it's been. I'm just honest with myself. I'd love to pick a cocktail and have that be my go-to. Just like I'd love to pick a relationship and have that be my go-to. I just haven't found the right one yet. As of right now, it's the Naked and Famous, which I hope to be one day. I got one of them. I got one. The naked part, I'm not naked right now or we wouldn't be recording. Yeah, no. But, at some point I got to get that famous down. But, the last couple months, it was fucking the last word. Yeah. Or the Oaxacan last word because, mezcal is my spirit of choice as it has been for the last year. Like, I love me some mezcal. I don't know if I'll ever get away from mezcal where it's not my favorite anymore.
I don't think that's possible.
I don't think it is either. Like, I really don't. There's just something about the agave spirits and everything that's just because of the agave spirit. I don't know how true this is. Another bartender told me this, so I take it as gospel at the same time. Gospel's fake too, so It is what it is. They said that, with an agave spirit, with the probiotics in it, that it's the one spirit, or at least the most popular spirit, that is not considered a downer. Yeah. Which is why everyone loves tequila.
I know who said that.
But that's why I love mezcal, because it gives me the mixture of the life of the party energy that everyone gets from tequila, which is why everyone loves tequila right now. Which 10 years ago, everyone hated tequila. You were like, oh, I get tequila, I fight. Now it's cognacs. Everybody fights on cognacs,
That they do.
But with mezcal, I get the heightened effect, or, that joy effect of the agave spirit with tequila, but mixed with the flavor and the aroma and the bite of like a good scotch. Which I used to really be into whiskey, and then I was into scotch, and now it's like, oh, I found my middle point between the two worlds, and I'll still branch off and jump to this and jump to that, but I also like having the feeling of never being in one spot for too long. If I feel like that would just make me boring, and what is life if it's boring?
That's why you moved so much.
Yeah, I have. So, what's your favorite?
My favorite, my favorite that I like to make at home, whiskey sour. That's
that boy makes a good whiskey sour.
That he does.
Yeah, he does.
That's why I had to go buy the egg whites, because I kept using the eggs.
Bruh, you went through so many eggs.
I know, and I'm not sorry.
And you would save the yolk, which is cool, because why waste anything? But when you're only cooking the yolk, I don't know what it is. Like, something just feels off. Yeah. It really just feels off.
It's like a shoe with no laces.
That's called a slipper. So, all right. So you out here just making slippers. I make whiskey slippers. That is what I do. And when I'm home, I make whiskey slippers all day. That's going to be your new name, is Whiskey Slippers.
Whiskey Slippers?
Actually, that sounds kind of dirty. That fits you too, though.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, nah, that boy over there, he's a real whiskey slipper. You got to watch yourself around here. That might get you in the wrong direction.
So that's the one I like to make at home. As far as when I go out, it depends on the bar. Yeah. Because if it's just somewhere like... somewhere that isn't big on craft cocktails, like for example 82. No shade. Shout out to 82. Yeah. It'll be whiskey ginger ale. Yeah. Is what's just like a go-to. I like
it's,
to try.
it's a two touch.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
like
easy.
when you go out to a place and you know they don't have cocktails at all, or they don't have good cocktails. You know, we've all been to places that have terrible cocktails. Then you just want something that's two touches because then you know what you're gonna get.
Yeah,
you know what you're gonna get,
exactly.
Which I fully understand that, because there are places I will go and eat there, or you know, if it's a place that only does drinks, I'll drink there if I'm invited. But I am not going to go there of my own will. I'm going to go there because I know other people who are going, or there's an event there, because I'm like, man, their cocktails are terrible. And there's one place here in LA that really sticks out to mind. I love to go there because of the energy and the vibe around the place. But they have some of the worst cocktails I've ever fucking had. I'm not going to say names.
No, you don't have to say names.
No Sade. No Sade. Nah, it's over... yeah, it's over.
It's this one right here?
No. Wait, which one are you talking about?
The one right there?
We'll talk about that.
Okay.
You know, we'll talk about that afterwards. Because I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't know if that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
We were there a few months back.
Yeah.
Okay, then we're talking about the same place.
We're talking about the same place.
Terrible cocktails. It's so bad. And everyone knows that their cocktails are bad. At least everyone within the bar community knows that their cocktails are bad. I'm pretty sure the people who work there know their cocktails are bad. But it's just one of those places. The energy is always good. You always have a good time. Mostly because the people there are having a good time, that's the whole reason you go out. Yeah, that's the whole reason you go out. So for me, my main reason for wanting to do this particular podcast, you know, like you said in the intro, you know, peel back the curtain. I want to, and I used to talk about this a while back when I first thought of the idea for the podcast. I want to take the servant part out of the service industry, because when you have a servant, you don't care about whatever's going on with them. It's just like, hey, hold my drink, bitch. That feeling of go get this because I said so. Go get this because I'm the customer. I'm right. You're supposed to take care of me. But the person on the other end of that transaction is a person who, you know, has feelings, has thoughts, has emotions, has kids sometimes, has a spouse, has everything.
Everything that you have as a guest.
Exactly. They wish they could escape, but they got to be at work. While you can go to a cubicle or go to a factory line or go wherever it is that you work, whatever it is that you do, you can come in for that escape. You want to be catered to. You want to be taken care of. You want to feel good. But remember, the person who's trying to provide that for you, they may not be in the place to be able to provide that to the best of their abilities because of what they're going through. Yeah. But they still have to pretend, because everyone in the service industry is an actor. At the end of the day, we're all there. Yeah,
gotta put on a show.
Yeah, because if we don't, we're not making any money. Nope. If we don't make any money, we ain't paying no bills. You know, so it's just, I want to rehumanize the service industry itself, and I also want to show that it's very regional. What goes in LA, that's not going to go in, you know, like Chicago, or it's not going to go in Miami
or New
York or fucking Nebraska. And then on top of that, how we bartend here in the States, it's going to be different than what someone does in London and what someone does in Japan or what someone does in fucking Bangladesh. I don't even know if they serve alcohol there, but whatever, wherever you are, your rules are going to be different. Yeah. And, you know, I've traveled a bit. I've seen different countries and gotten served in different countries and seen, you know, the pluses and the minuses compared to what it is here in the States. And a lot of it is just, the service industry is looked at as less than, and is looked at as it's almost like the way weed was looked at in the 90s, where it was a gateway drug. It wasn't something you stayed at. It's something you did while you were moving on to the next drug. Oh, God. And that's how people treat the service industry. It's like, oh, you're a server? Oh, You're a server. You're a bartender? Ah, you're a bartender. Like, okay, but what if I'm excellent at this?
Yeah.
Do I need to go find another job because you think that the profession I'm in is not worthy? But wait a minute. Didn't you come here hoping that I provided you with this level of service,
Great
with this
service
escape?
and great attitude, all that.
And no one's doing that. No one's humanizing what we do. And there's a whole bunch of people out there that wish that the rest of the world would, pay attention to their thoughts, their feelings. And no one's been able to do that so far. And I'm hoping that that's what we're going to be able to do with this.
You don't have to hope. We're doing it.
We're doing it. Yeah, we're
already doing it.
But I mean, doing it on a grander scale where people are paying attention.
They will.
They're hopefully paying attention at this point because they're listening, if they are. But I'm just saying, to the point of making it more common, making it more understood. Because I just had a conversation last week with someone who is very near and dear to my heart, very close. And I remember that they prefaced what they were about to say by saying, because you're in this industry, what I'm about to say may change how you view me, and it may not. But blah, blah, blah. And they gave their opinion on something. And then I said, I understand where you're coming from. And I'm not here to tell you that you're right or wrong or to argue for or against any particular thing. But what I would love to do is at least explain to you what the other side is feeling and what the other side is doing. And what we were talking about was service industry workers being paid a higher minimum. And they were saying that they didn't
Was this
agree.
the conversation about tipping?
Not tipping.
Okay.
Not tipping. Just in general about what your base pay is supposed to be. Because depending on what city and state you live in, your hourly wage can be pennies. So you're only making money off of tips. So they were saying for someone to work in like a McDonald's or Burger King or something like that, no, you don't deserve this amount of money per hour. And their talking points made sense. My order's always wrong and this and that. Yo, you're right about that. But then I said to them, here's what may be going on within that restaurant. And I listed off the different things between management and employee, how your manager could have been someone who was right next to you on the same line last week, but they got promoted because no one else wanted to do the job and the last manager just quit and this and that. And it can create like a toxic work environment. So your order being wrong, it could be that this person's incompetent, or it could be that the environment that they're working in is so toxic that it makes it difficult for them to create or to fulfill your order the proper way. You could be ordering the same thing that 3 of the other 4 cars in the line are ordering, and they could have just gotten it wrong. Or they could have just been like, you know what? Fuck this. Fuck this job. Fuck this order. Fuck this person. But mostly out of all of this, fuck that manager and the fact that they're making $5 or $6 more than I am. But last week, they were over here complaining about the last manager. But now all of a sudden they're acting like they don't know me and they don't know the things that I'm going through and this and that and whatever. And by the end of it, in that conversation that I was having, they ended up saying like, man, I never thought of it like that because I never heard that. I never heard how this manager could be or this employee could be or how this environment could be and this and that, And we came to that, part of the conversation, but we did it because neither one of us was trying to prove ourselves right.
Yeah.
We were literally only explaining our part. And I was like, I understand your part. Here's the other information that you don't even get because no one's told you. And they even said, someone needs to be saying this a lot more. Because had I known that, maybe I could be a little bit more patient, or maybe I could approach things a certain way. And another reason why this was discussed was they were like, well, why should I have to pay more so that the sandwich maker who makes my sandwich wrong gets more money? And I was like, but who said you have to pay more? That's what's been put in front of you, is that if the employee makes more, someone's got to pay the bill, and it ain't going to be the company. So we got to raise prices. But why are you raising prices? Your CEOs and your CFOs and your COOs and all your other alphabet, all your other alphabet management positions are taking home millions of dollars every year in bonuses. No matter what, they don't want their money to be affected. So instead of them saying, you know what, I will take a little less in this management position, in this, executive position, so that the people who are actually making the money for us can have a livable wage. Nah, what I'm going to do is say, I don't want to lose more money and give them more money. I need you on my side, which is capitalism 101.
Damn.
101. Yeah.
It's a political podcast now.
It doesn't need to be. I hope it never is, but that was part of it. That was part of just that feeling of, well, it's us against them. And I'm like, but who's them? Who's the them? The person that you're ordering from could be sitting in a concert or a movie theater next to you tomorrow and you wouldn't even know. So why is it you against them? There's no them. There's no us. Or there isn't us, because we're all us. And I don't want to make it like us against the people at the top. It's just, well, bruh, if we're all in this together, which we're supposed to be, as a country, as a people, as a species, then we need to stop cutting each other's legs out. Like, oh, I don't want you to make $5 because I make $4. Okay. Tell me why I shouldn't make 5 based on what I do, when there's another person making 10. But that's not a socialism thing where we should all make the same amount of money. Yeah. I'm not trying to say that either. I want to make sure that that's very clear. I'm just saying, for the level of work done, you should be paid. Why are school teachers paid this and service industry people paid this? But, when this pandemic hit, we were the first ones to be without money and nobody was helping us. You can't work from home making cocktails.
No.
I mean, you could, but you can't.
You're just paying yourself at that point.
Yeah. You can't Zoom cocktails.
No. All right, so I'm going to teach you. You can do it like this. Make sure you have these ingredients. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Now just tip me through that Cash App right there.
And you get at one time and then that's it. They'll just watch a video every other time. Like, it's just saying. Anyway, that went off on a whole thing. I really talked way too much. But I just wanted to say, like, that was my main thing.
What I got at the end of that was we should tip our teachers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Teachers need to be tipped. Not armed.
Are you sure this isn't a political podcast?
It's not. It's a human podcast.
Oh.
It's a very human podcast. We all have things that we want and need, and a lot of times instead of people actually paying attention to the fact that we want and need things for a certain reason, everyone tries to find a reason why you don't deserve it. No, as opposed to just being like, all right, man, you deserve it. So let's figure out a way that we all get what we deserve. But whatever, man. Whatever. I can't wait to get other people on this podcast and we start to learn, why it is they do what they do. Like, what got them in the service industry? Do they want to get out? How do they want to get out? And by get out, I don't mean like it's a prison sentence.
Right. No, because some people do this for the rest of their life. Yeah. It's because they enjoy it or that's all they know how to do or whatever their reason is. It's just, and they do it forever. They're either servers, bartenders, whatever the fuck it is, whatever the reason is. They just do it because they're good at it or that's all they know.
Yeah.
So it's not a sentence at all. Yeah. It just may be their, their trade, craft, whatever it is. So it's not a negative connotation if how you said it. Like, why do you do this? It's not.
We're all good at something. Some people are good at more things than other. But yeah, like if I remember a long time ago, someone said, managers, as far as a restaurant and bar, They were like, oh, managers are just servers and bartenders who couldn't serve and bartend anymore. Which is very true in certain aspects. Because no one wants to be a 50-year-old bartender. Even the 50-year-old bartender. But sometimes, like, you find the thing that you're good at and you don't know how to get out. Or you're good at it and you don't want to get out. If you want to be a 50-year-old bartender, then bartend at a place where you can be a 50-year-old bartender. Same thing with server. But you can't be a 70-year-old server or a 70-year-old bartender unless you're doing those things at an old folks' home. And they're all on a budget. Which, yeah, maybe that's an idea. Get some restaurants and bars for old folks' homes. Because they can't go out. They can't drive anywhere. Hey, whoever does that, like, you owe me.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Put some tables with backgammon and maybe some shuffleboard. Bingo.
Straight up bingo, bruh. Bingo, fucking gin. It could be gin and gin. They can play gin while sipping gin.
Ooh, that's an idea.
Whew. Some lit ass old people. It's gonna be a lot of racism. It's gonna be a lot of closeted racism coming out. That got very dark. It didn't need to. It really didn't need to.
It's okay.
Yeah. So what got you into bartending?
Well, I touched on it a little bit with you, but I kind of I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. I just like to know and do a little bit of everything, but never go too far as to be like, oh, I am the guy when it comes. No, I like to do and know a little bit of everything. You know, I've done retail, worked food, I've taught kids, lifeguard.
You hear that, ladies? He's good with kids.
Lifeguard, moving company, all of it. So I like to know and do a little bit about everything, even a medical assistant. So, but the one thing that I really enjoyed above all else was bartending, being behind the bar, bar backing, all that stuff. It's just, like you said, you do it because you get to have fun. You know, you want to do something, you get to have fun. For the most part, a lot of places I worked at, I've had fun. It's because of the people I work with or the guests that come in. You know, you get to chop it up with people and serve them drinks. And a lot of people that come to a bar, it's not like retail or food where they're going to be angry and, you know, it's your fault. A lot of people come to the bar because they want to unwind. And it's nice to be a part of that unwinding process, whether if you're like a therapist for them, you know, being the ear, you know, for them to listen to, provide some laughs, whatever it is. For me personally, because I'm not the kind of person that can go and chop it up with random people, it's nice that they have to come to me and chop it up with me. And then I can talk about anything with everybody, whatever. Yeah. I'm not the person to go and talk with strangers. So it's nice to have a stranger come and talk to me and not kind of be forced because they don't have to. Right. But if they say one thing, a little thing, it can just spark a whole entire conversation. And I like that they have to come to me to talk to me. So yeah, that's what I like about it. But that's why I got into it. I like to know a little bit about everything. Yeah. But I came back to it. Yeah. It's one of those things.
Because you stepped away for a while, right?
Yeah. I stepped away for a while, got a cubicle job.
Couple of years and everything.
Yeah. That was working in an office fucking sucks.
It does.
That shit fucking sucks.
It does for those who don't want to do it. Because I have very good friends who work a 9-to-5 in a cubicle and they love it. They love the structure of it. They love all of that. Yeah, that's cool. But to me, it's like a slow death.
But, I'd rather have my feet hurt than my back hurt. That's for sure. Yeah. I'd much rather have that because since I've been back in the industry, like I don't have as much back pain, you know, from sitting at a desk or whatever. So I'd much rather have feet pain than back pain.
I don't have either. Oh. Although the last couple of days, I did have a little bit.
You just got to have good shoes.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Good shoes. You have good shoes, you're set. Yeah. You're set if you got good shoes, which I need to.
Last couple of days I've been a little bothered because the shoes I like to wear at one of my jobs, they look good, but they're not functional for being on your feet for 7, 8, 9 hours. And then on top of that, I walk to work because it's so close. Why would I drive and pay for parking? But I definitely felt it on my left knee for sure. I don't know why my left and not my right, but whatever. It is what it is. But yeah. For me, like what got me into bartending was I used to bartend like under the table kind of deal. Like I don't want to go into like the environment and what it was, but for those who know me or at least have known me long enough, they know what that environment was. Mm-hmm. But it was a very under the table, secretive type of environment for bartending and everything. And I cut my teeth there. And I remember, every weekend that I got to be behind the bar, even though it was a makeshift bar, it is what it is, but it was my bar. Because I was one of the people who helped buy the liquor for that bar. I was always the person behind the bar. There might be a couple other people who would help out, but I was definitely always behind the bar because I was just good at it. I just enjoyed it. And that's because, in my opinion, that's because I am the person who can walk into a room and talk to anybody.
Yeah, no, you definitely
just do that.
I see it happen all the time.
Yeah, I just did it last night.
You can't go into a room without seeing somebody or...
Yeah, or at least someone I feel like I should know.
You know what it is?
And sometimes they both happen.
They'll just say, hey, I like your hair. And then next thing you know, you're talking about this and that, and then somebody from that. So I see it happening.
Yeah, it does. And I've been that way for a while. And
it's like seeing a performance at this point. For me, I kind of just stand back and I'm like, there he goes.
Yeah.
There he goes. Once they point at the hair, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna sit back and watch this.
All right, he's off. And he's off. Yeah, man. It was like I just always felt that way. I always felt like that was just like an outlet for me. Like it was a good outlet as far as like I could just be more of myself, even though I didn't know quite what that meant at the time. And I remember talking to someone who had been a bartender for a while and decided they wanted to get away from it and everything. And they took a 9-to-5 boring ass job and they looked so miserable. And they just talked about how much they missed bartending, but they just felt like they were too old, which was hilarious because they were only a year or two older than me at the time. And I was just like, jeez, bruh, like you're barely 30, 31, 32, but you feel done.
That's what it does to you.
I got into the game officially at like 31. Like I bartended at a table for like 2-3 years, but as far as like getting in it, I Benjamin Buttoned that shit. You know what I'm saying? I got in late. You know what I mean? And went in reverse, but I just enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed talking to people. And when people ask me about bartending, like my favorite part is I was like, no 2 days are the same. No. Ever. No matter what. Man. No 2 days are the same because they can't be. Because you can't have the same customers. Nope. And even if you do have the same customers every day, they're going to do or say something different when they come in. So you can't have the same 2 days in a row. No. And that's what I need. I need the spontaneity of life because that makes it more enjoyable. It makes it worth it.
Who am I going to run into, talk to today?
Exactly.
That's what I like about it.
I go in, one of the new jobs I have, I go in there a couple days ago and run into someone who I know from 2 jobs ago. Like, not my last job, but the job before that. They come in and they're like, man, I looked for you at your last job and you wasn't there. I came here just on some bullshit, what I mean? I was invited to come here and I came here and like, little do I know I'm going to see the motherfucker I looked for 2 hours ago. Mm-hmm. And I was just like that to me was like a whole fucking vibe because I was like, man, here I am at this new job, but I started this new job because I knew the people who worked there, or I knew a couple of people who worked there, and that made it more comfortable for me to go there. And little do I know, I'm gonna run into motherfuckers that I knew from a year ago, from when I first moved to Los Angeles, you know, and that's what I love about it, and the freedom and opportunity that I've had being in the service industry, because I used to have the 9 to 5 job, or you know, whatever the hours were for the days I worked back then, and every day felt the same, no matter what. Every fucking day felt the same, and it just was what it was. Okay, whatever. But it was boring.
Yeah.
It was so boring. I knew what to expect. I'd fall asleep at work. And it was a physical job, and I would still fall asleep at work. You know? Here I am.
Because you know what's going to happen. You know who you're going to talk to, whether it be there or fucking sitting at the desk talking to Steve from accounting about the numbers. And like, you know you're going to talk to Steve the next day. There's nothing exciting. Yeah. You already know his whole backstory. You know. He's going to tell you about it again.
Yeah.
With bartending, it's, again, you just don't know.
But you could still run into Steve.
You could.
But you could also find out that either Steve is cheating on his wife, or Steve's wife is cheating on him, or Steve is married to Paul and Paul's cheating on Steve. Like, you could learn so much about Steve being behind the bar than you can working next to Steve.
That's true.
Like,
bars.
Steve can be two totally different people. Steve could have 3 different personalities. He could be home Steve, he could be work Steve, and then he could be Steve. You know what I'm saying?
Steve.
And
real
behind the bar, that's when you find out who Steve is, man. And I remember, gosh, man, I remember there was this guy when I worked in Seattle. He'll never hear this, but obviously I'm not going to say his name. But I just remember, we'll call him Steve. I just remember when he would come into my job and he would tell me straight up, I only came in here because you were here. And I was like, I mean, thanks. I appreciate that. He's like, yeah, but I only came in here because you were here because I needed to talk to someone about the stupid shit that I'm doing right now. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, remember that girl I was in here with yesterday? And I was like, yeah, the girl that works upstairs. And he's like, yeah, I'm fucking her. And I'm like, oh, okay. But Steve, ain't you married, Steve? And he's like, yeah, but I'm still fucking her. And then I was like, oh, all right, Steve. Well, I don't know what you want me to say or do about that, you know? And then all of a sudden, you know, as the time went on, that day and every other day, Steve would show me videos of him either fucking or getting head from some other fucking chick who either worked in that building or worked in that vicinity and this and
who
that. Who
wasn't his wife.
Who was not his wife. And you know, the craziest part was, at one point, Steve brought in his wife, and I had to talk to Steve's wife, knowing everything about Steve that I know, but also knowing that she knew those same things about Steve because she kept catching Steve. But she still stayed with Steve. So the 3 of us are at this bar. I'm working, they're drinking, and I don't know if she knew that I knew what I knew.
Oh, God.
But Steve knew that I knew what I knew. And Steve also looked at me like, I appreciate the fact that you ain't talking about any of the shit that you know. Because she talked to me and he talked to me like it was the first time any of us had met.
Oh,
and
God damn.
Yeah, that's the type of shit you only get being behind the bar or, you know, serving a table. I had a coworker just tell me last night about she was serving a table recently, and during dinner, the girlfriend or wife or whatever was looking at the partner's phone while they were in the restroom and was like, oh, so I checked your email. Ooh. And that one coworker and it was his work email. And she's like, oh, let's say Katie, because I can't remember her name. He's like, oh, Katie that you told me about this and that, da 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 da. This is what y'all talk about at work. And I'm like, bruh, well, I mean, I know it's a work email, but you should have told Katie to download Snapchat, and y'all just talk on
cheating
Snapchat.
On the work email?
On the work email, homie. There's still servers. And the server heard about it. I was just
so both servers have the information.
Servers on servers, you know. There's so much tea, but yeah, man. It's just there's an element of being in the service industry. We get to see people at their best and their worst all the time, and we're supposed to be at our best no matter what. And I just want this podcast to just reflect that. And, you know, through one episode, I feel like we've already shown that. Eventually, we'll have guests. We'll bring other people on to show other perspectives because it's not an industry of two.
No.
It's an industry of 2 million. You know, there's so many of us between security guards, managers, front of the house, back of the house, servers, bussers, hosts. We all got some stories to fucking tell.
Runners, bussers.
Yeah.
Everybody
HR.
that makes that. HR.
Oh, if we can get an HR person in here, man, I would love to get an HR person on the cast to nice. just to talk about some shit that they've had to deal with. I've had my run-ins.
I was about to say you could go in about some HR shit. Man, I mean,
I've had some HR convos, but I've also had convos had about me with HR. And I wasn't present for him, and I just heard about him through the grapevine. Like, yo, this motherfucker went to HR about you. I was like, about what? I ain't even work last week, homie. What are you talking about?
How you get fired on your day off? How you get
fired on your day off, bro? Like, how you get called into HR and you've been off for a week? What did I do? I wasn't here. I ain't talking to nobody, but... Hey man, it's happened. It's happened. It really has. But yeah, that's what I want this to be. I know you feel the same way. I'm so happy that we've gotten this opportunity to come together and do this. I look forward to everything we're gonna do going forward. You know, we will definitely be putting up the socials, the emails, you know, all of that stuff to, you know, just put it out there to give everyone within our industry and even the guests, you know, at some point we're going to have guests, like guests as in customers.
Yeah.
Because we're programmed to say guests. You're not supposed to say customer anymore. We even want, you know, guests.
Not that it actually hurts or offends them in any way, but for some reason it's like taboo.
Someone decided they can't be customers anymore. But they got to be guests.
They come in and they're like, oh, okay. They're like, whatever. Yeah, customer, guest.
I blame the candelabra from the Beauty and the Beast. Because that motherfucker told everybody to be our guest. Be our guest. And since then, we've all been paying for it.
God damn it, Beauty and the Beast.
God damn you, Beauty. The Beast was all right. He was just misunderstood. Beauty was an Instagram model before Instagram.
Oh shit.
She was a colonial model.
Ooh.
Yeah. Man, if you saw the paintings I've seen of her.
Wait, we're about to go into a whole different world.
Disney, please don't sue me.
They will.
I hope. That just means more viewers or more listeners now. But eventually we will have viewers. We're gonna do video when we feel comfortable. We're gonna have guests when we feel comfortable. We're gonna make this a whole thing. Like, we're gonna give you an entire look behind the curtain, an entire view of the industry perspective, because it is totally different than what you think it is. But it's what we and our peers live every single day, because we are a different breed. Like, we think different, we talk different, we act different. It's, if you don't know, you just don't know. But
you want to talk about tough skin? Talk about callous? Shit.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I hear coworkers talk about how this person talks to them, I'm like, you just smiled and walked away? I'm like, I could never be a server. Some of the shit they go through, it's like, goddamn.
I ain't got it in me.
Nah, I personally, you can't talk to me sideways and expect me to just smile and say, yeah, okay, yeah, no, I apologize.
You can't talk to me front ways and expect me to fucking just swallow that shit. Like, nah. I'm like a first time porn star. I ain't swallowing that. Who give a fuck? I ain't signed up for this. It's just not gonna happen.
Oh,
better aim that shit somewhere else.
Oh shit!
I'm sorry.
I was not expecting that.
Neither was a porn star. Yeah, nah, I can't be. I can't be a server either, man. I really can't.
That's a whole different.
You know,
they're a different breed.
They are. Shout out to the servers out there.
Honestly,
like you are literally the front line of the service industry army. You know what I'm saying? Like you are the first wave of troops we send out.
Yeah. And
you know what? We got to support our troops. Support the fucking servers. They are the ones who take your order. Even if you get your order wrong and they get it right, but you say, I didn't say that, they still got to look at you and be like, you know what? I apologize. Let me fix that. I just had that shit happen last week as a bartender. Motherfucker ordered, he was like, yo, let me get this. I was like, all right. And I always repeat the order. So you want this? Yeah. He confirmed it. I put it in front of him. He's like, what's this? And I was like, it's what you ordered. He's like, nah, I said that. I was like, nah, motherfucker, you ain't say that. I repeated it to you. You asked for this. That's why I put it in front of you. Nah, man, I ain't asked for that. And I'm like, well, that's what's in front of you because that's what you ordered. He's like, all right, man, I'll take it. You damn right.
You damn right you didn't take it. That's what you ordered. It. Yeah.
It's just like Burger King. You can have it your way.
Yeah.
But you're going to have it the way you ordered it.
You're going to have it your fucking way.
like
you wanted it your way. This is how you got it. Yeah. Have it your fucking way.
Bro, you ordered pickles. So you're going to eat these goddamn pickles or you're going to pick them off the sandwich. I don't give a fuck. Yep. You ordered pickles. I ain't ordered pickles. Why the fuck would I? They don't come with pickles.
Nah.
So I wouldn't have put pickles on it if you ain't asked for it. I wouldn't have put mayo or mustard or whatever. It don't come with that. So if it's on there, you ordered it.
I didn't just think, oh, you know what? They would like pickles on there. Yeah, let me just put that on there. It tastes good to me with pickles, so they're going to...
They look like a pickle-eating motherfucker. So let me give them some motherfucking pickles to make them happy. Let me give them what they want. They want pickles, I'm going to give them pickles. And then they look up and be like, where the fuck these pickles come from? They came from the back where the sandwich came from because you ordered fucking pickles. I don't like pickles. Shit. Why the fuck you order pickles? Like, bruh.
I'm mad how you just kind of stretched out this whole pickle thing. You took it and ran with it.
Hey, if it's one thing I'm known for, it's stretching out a pickle.
Okay, no.
All right. Well, you know, we are 48 minutes in. We will promise to keep our episodes to less than an hour. We'd love to keep them to less than 45 if possible. But as with all things, you know, once it gets going well, you don't want it to stop. But that's why we do our best to keep everybody wanting more, including ourselves. And with that said, I think it's time that we go ahead and cut this off. We've given you enough of our perspective from today. And just tune in next time for more perspective, more curtain pulling, more pickle stretching, all of that.
And don't forget, tip 20%.
Hey, man, for me, I want more than just a tip.
Oh, my God.